rival. These splits were unbelievable.
As a world record, Leon Marchand to the wall for another Olympic gold. Greatest swimming machine we've ever seen goes on to another gold here in Paris.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the final broadcast of these Olympic Games in Paris for the swimming competition, and the final night did not disappoint. We're going to go through all of these last races and then give you guys a chance to let me know your thoughts in the live chat, in the comments. Let me know where you're coming from. Which races surprise you? Which excite you the most of these Olympic Games? What I just put here on the screen is the final medal count. Now, we are going to go through every single event of tonight's session and then recap some highlights that I had for the week. But we need to take a step back and recognize greatness when we see it. And these are the top 9 teams in order of medal count by Olympic gold. And you can see right here the United States of America at the very top in both total medal count and gold medal. As you know, there was a huge rivalry between the United States and Australia for who would win the final medal count. And it turns out the United States just squeezed by there. If I'll be completely transparent, I didn't think the United States had it in them to be able to do that because they had a rocky start to the meet. There were a few big misses for the United States, but because of the depth, they were just able to make it happen. Of course, winning the most medals. Shout out to Australia and France. 4 of those gold medals came from one individual. That is Leon Marchand, obviously the superstar of the meet. And when you take a look at Team Canada in there, that was also from one swimmer, and that is Summer McIntosh. She is definitely the MVP on the women's side, and Leon Marchand MVP on the men's side. And we can't go these Olympic Games without talking about China, because China put up a very impressive Olympic Games. We saw a world record from Pan. We saw another magnificent relay tonight. A lot of drama, of course, with doping allegations left and right. That's a different video. We won't get too into that now, but we need to respect some of the athletes that we've seen here today. Sweden, we saw Sjöström, we saw Kosh, we saw Milak from Hungary. The Italians had an incredible showing, and Team GB makes it in the top 9 as well. A little bit of a disappointment. Some swims here and there, but overall, this was an incredible Olympic Games, and I'm so excited to walk through it with you guys on the live stream one more time. And in order to do that, we're going to go ahead and pull up the results. Our first event of this evening was the women's 100 meter, I'm sorry, it's the 50 meter freestyle. I see Sarah Sjöström. Immediately, I think 100 fly, 100 free. She is the defending gold medalist in that 100 freestyle, but we are seeing her in her prime event because she has the world record in the 50 freestyle. When we look at our lane assignments, she is right there in the middle. She broke the Olympic record in that 50 freestyle in the semifinal. You know she's going to be good. You know Walsh for the United States is also going to be very good because she has an incredible start. We saw her at the NCAA circuit in the 25-yard pool. She is a beast, and when they go off on the gun, this is the underwater shot. I love this underwater shot. Look at how deep Gretchen Walsh goes underwater. She is so deep, so fast to 15 meters. I think Gretchen Walsh is the fastest swimmer ever to 15 meters in butterfly and freestyle. I don't think anyone's even faster. Even Sjöström right here from Sweden, she is the world record holder, and she's still not ahead at the 15-meter mark. Sarah has the most speed, most power in the middle of the pool. She's good off the start. She's not the best. That belongs to Gretchen Walsh right there. She's the best underwater. But when you get on top of the water, the speed that we see, you can just go ahead and move right here. At this point in the race, they just passed. This is the 15-meter mark right here. And you can see this is Gretchen Walsh, and this is Sjöström. Sjöström makes her move right here. Now, I say make their move. I mean, it's a 50 freestyle. They're going fast the whole thing. But where you start to see that separation in speed, I think you can see that here is the world record line. Now, we are approaching 35 meters. That's what this line right here is. This is 25 meters. Whoop, that's a terrible line. Let me draw that again. This is 25 meters. And as you can see, Sjöström right there is on the edge of her very own world record line. And I would say from here to here, this is the best part of the race for her. She is so fast at this point in the race, basically from the 20-meter mark until the 40-meter mark. Now, she did fall off a little bit on the end, making it the 50 free. It's so short, but there's different pieces to it. Now, she did just enough to hold on and win the Olympic gold. You can see her, but does she get the world record line? You can see it's starting to slip away from her, and the world record is a 23.67. 23.61. She went 23.67 in the semifinal, and she's looking really good. Who's going to be in second place? It really is a race for second. How about that right there? Any of these ladies could get on the podium. It's going to be a dogfight into the finish. And into the finish, it is the greatest sprinter of all time. She has like 20 to 30 world championship titles. I mean, it's just ridiculous. We're talking about some of the greatest legends we've ever seen in the pool. We saw Michael Phelps retire, but now we have Ledecky, we have Leon Marchand, we have Summer McIntosh, and we have Sarah Sjöström from Sweden, and she has given some love to the fans. What an incredible performance that she had. She won the 50 freestyle. She also won the 100 freestyle. She also is a prior Olympic champion in the 100 butterfly. She also has the world record in the 50-meter butterfly. She is the greatest, undeniably. So much power, so much speed at the age of 30 years young. How about that? And there, Super Sarah. Love to see it. That is so cool to see her home peeps representing and cheering her on. And again, you can see this from the top. You can see the finish. Look at the margin that she's winning by, guys. This is insane. This right here is a half body length. Okay, this is a half body length. If you like my algebra right here. In the 50 freestyle, you don't win by half a body length. We saw it with Pan in the 100. He won by over a second. And we see it with Sjöström heading into the final. Her semifinal swim was over half a second faster than everyone. That is called dominance. That is called being superior in the pool to everyone. She is just so much faster, so much better in this 50 freestyle than everyone. And we expected her to win. When you look at the time, a little bit slower. I think she was a little bit long on that finish. And she was a little deep on the dive too. So maybe those two things right there would have put her at a 23.5. But either way, it's Meg Harris from Australia to sneak in there. And then Gretchen Walsh misses out on the podium. Look at that. By 100th of a second. You cannot get any closer than that to getting on the podium in an individual event. And how about this? It's very close from basically third on. But at the very top, no one can match the speed of Sarah Sjöström. Absolutely incredible. When we look at the results in a little bit more detail, look at these top swims here, right? Look at this. This is the Olympic record that she broke just yesterday. This is the world record that she continues to have. And there she is at the top of the podium, Olympic champion in the 50-meter freestyle. Congratulations, Sarah. That was insane. This is the final day. So let's throw some comments here on the screen. I want to make sure we get some audience participation because this is too good not to. Insane margin. Let's go. Are there any other distance discipline swimming that you'd like to see added in the future Olympics and international swimming events? This is an amazing question. I've been waiting for some discussion topic like this at some point. Thank you so much, Swim and Climb. I appreciate your comment. This is a great question. I'm not going to go too deep into this, but I think we would all love to see the 50s of stroke. And I can't speak for everyone, but I would rather see a 50 of stroke instead of like an 800 IM. I mean, we got two IMs. We got the 200 IM, the 400 IM. That's good enough. I'm not saying we take away any event. If we were to add event, I would like to see the 50s of stroke. The other thing that if we could just add whatever we feel like, how about a 4x50 relay? Either a 4x50 freestyle relay or a 4x50 medley relay. I think that would be insane. You have swimmers at opposite ends of the pool, and it just, 4 sprinters, and everyone's got to piece it together. The times would be insane. I think, in maybe 10 to 20 years, we would see a 19 long course in the 50 on a relay start. I mean, you got to think someone's eventually going to go 20 point. You give them a relay start, adrenaline, maybe a draft off someone in front of them. That's how you go 19 long course. It would be spectacular. I would love to see that. Yeah, no. We 6,000 relay. No, thank you. We don't want to see 4 1500s. Imagine Sjöström with Walsh's start. It would be over for everyone. Well, it's already over for everyone. I think, if we had Gretchen Walsh's start, that's probably 0.2. It's at least 0.2. And that means Sarah's already at a 26.4. I mean, just think about that for a second. But that's the thing. I mean, we can say that about Adam Peaty, right? Adam Peaty has the most overwater speed in breaststroke ever. He never had the best dive and pull out. So if you just give someone else's dive and pull out, like Leon Marchand, for example, you give him his start, Adam Peaty would have pushed like maybe a 55, 56 low in the 100 breasts. That is ridiculous to think about. And yeah, yep. Dressel needs to be talked about. We're getting to Dressel soon. We're going to get to Dressel soon. Let's see if there's any more comments here. 4x200 IM. Dear God. 1,000 IM. Holy cow. Yeah, okay. All right. I think we're done with these comments. Let's go to the next event. Oh, goodness. Okay. Next event. Thank you. I love you guys' participation on this. If you guys are watching after the fact, it's okay. Subscribe for the next live stream, whenever that is. Next event, the men's 1,500 meter freestyle. We have all the Olympic medalists from the 800 freestyle in this 1,500. We were just joking in the last event if we could see a 4x1,500 relay. This is a 6,000 relay. No, thank you. But if we had the 4 of these guys, the top guys here, that actually might be interesting. Now, I want everyone to pay attention to Fink, Palantarini, and Whiffen. These are the 3 guys that medaled in the 800. Now, this is a 1,500, little bit different strategy. Either way, it's still a long-distance event. And boy, was this a good race. Look at this. Right off the bat, we're at 51 seconds. We're heading into the 100 mark. And immediately we have some separation. How about this Turkish swimmer? Shout out if you're watching this from Turkey. I believe this guy is like 17 years old or 16 years old. He broke the junior world record. Basically, that's a world record for anyone under the age of 18. This is more relevant on the men's side because it's rare that you see a guy 18 and under breaking a world record. We see it on the women's side a little bit. We saw Summer McIntosh at 17 throwing down some big numbers and whatnot. But to see the spread right here already starting to be a little shaky at the first 100. We got to fast forward in the race a little bit. Heading into the 400, remember, this is a real event. The 100's a real event. But in the 1,500, we can benchmark the 400 and the 800. And we can see our leader here. I got to get myself off the screen because I'm in the way. You can see Bobby Fink right here taking it out strong. And he is in the lead clearly. And he holds that lead. Now we head into the 800 mark. And the world record line is now visible. I got to take myself off the screen one more time. You can see the world record line. This is Bobby Fink. He's being challenged, though. This is shaping up to be a great race. You know, when we see Ledecky, she comes in and just destroys everyone. That's obviously not happening right now. We have a great race, a great shakeup about to happen here at the 1,000-meter mark now. And we have Bobby Fink for the United States of America is still holding it together. And you can see the Italian right here, the Irish, and the USA. It's going to be those 3 into the finish. They've made clear separation. We got a battle for 4th place, but it's 1, 2, and 3. That's what it's looking like here into the final. By the way, a little bit of education for you guys. If you're wondering, how do these guys count? How do they know where they are in the race? It's not like they put these things. They have a counter, but they don't stick the counter in the water. And so what they do is they put the number at the edge in case the swimmer forgets where they're at in the race. Like a lot of these guys will count by 100. They count 15 100s. And so they're counting in their head. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But let's say they miscount. Well, they can just lift their head up and they can visually spot the number. And that's the job of this guy right here. He has one job and one job only. Make sure he touches the wall and make sure he knows, if he needs it, how many laps that he's done. And as you can see, we're at the 13:50 mark, and we're ahead of world record pace by 2 seconds. And the lead in front of that world record line got more and more exciting because heading into the final turn, Bobby Fink is looking really good. He's clearly ahead of the world record line, and it looks like he's going to be 1, 2, and 3. And we know that Bobby Fink has an incredible final push, final kick, and that's exactly what happened. We see him right here. The race is almost over. Can he hold on to the world record line? It's starting to escape him into the finish. I mean, you just got to hang on, buddy. Hang on, you get that world record. And yes, into the finish. That's exactly what happened. 14:30.67. The old world record was a 14:31.02. Congratulations to Bobby Fink. And we had the same 3 guys who medaled in the 800. They're the ones who took home the hardware in the 1500. So no surprise there. And look at the emotion. Look at that. Yes. Yes, that's a big grin. Look how happy he is. He's excited. Look at how big his mouth is. That's how much air he takes in on that 1500. Yes, Olympic champion. And you know what? I think he had a chip on his shoulder because he got second in the 800. And I think he could have won it. I think he mismanaged the race. He didn't put, and when you look at the splits here in the 1500, I think that becomes obvious. He could have probably pushed it earlier in that 800, and he just waited too long to make his move. And as a result, he got second. He should still be happy taking home a medal, but I think this really solidified him as the best distance male swimmer in the world right now. I think it was a little up in the air. Whiffen for Ireland had an incredible feat. And how about from Italy? Let's take a look at the results right here. This gentleman right here, 4 times on the podium in the men's 1500. Love to see the sportsmanship. He was so happy just to get on the podium. Yeah, he would have liked the win. He would have liked the world record. But how about that? Incredible. And we should talk about this world record, why it was significant. I believe this was Sun Yang's world record in that 1500 from the Chinese. That was absolutely insane. Little comments about the purple face. We'll talk about that in a little bit. He made up for the 800. I totally agree. He made up for that 800. That was something special right there. He did it. He did it. And this was Sun Yang. Yeah, so sorry, guys. I don't have all the data in front of me like you guys could maybe look up right now. But yeah, I believe it was Sun Yang. Thank you for confirming. And really, Sun Yang had a monster final 50. So just because you're ahead of the world record line heading into this thing, you're not going to break the world record unless you put together a phenomenal final 50, final 75. And that's exactly why. And that's a good comment about Palintrineri. Sorry if I'm butchering his name. He was not able to do it because you got to have that final leg. But this guy should be props to him because he is an incredible athlete, an incredible swimmer. Go Team USA. He was able to put it together. He was so happy for Bobby. All of these guys. I mean, even if you look here, even Daniel Whiffen from Ireland, he's making big moves for Ireland. I mean, the Irish are not on the swimming scene internationally like they are because of this guy now. He is putting them on the map. He's a gold medalist in the 800 freestyle and now on the 1500 freestyle. Love to see the team spirit. Love to see the camaraderie between these athletes. How about that? Yeah, Sun Yang said that he's coming back, so we'll see what happened. Richard, hey, what's happening? That's a long swim, hardcore athleticism. I mean, I'm getting tired just thinking about a 1500. I did swim 3,000 yards today, though, guys. Shout out for me. But, I mean, dang, I was wiped out. And these guys, they probably warmed up 3,000 before this race. Incredible. There he is. That is the Olympic champion and world record holder. That is Bobby Fink of the United States of America. Absolutely incredible. Absolutely incredible. Shout out to him. He really, really put it together. He put it together really well. Outstanding. Let's look at the final result right here. There's the world record. That's Bobby Fink. And you can really see it was just, there's some big separation. But how about the race for third, actually? Whiffen fell off a little bit, but these guys were really fighting hard. I mean, can you imagine? You swim for almost 15 minutes, and that's what it comes down to. That is wild. Absolutely wild, wild, wild. Okay. Let's go ahead and move some. Whoop. Gotta keep things moving. Results. I want to show just one thing about the results right here. Let's zoom in. This is Bobby Fink. Okay, now I'm going to zoom in super close. Ready for this? Ready? Boom. This is the final 250s. 29.07, 26.2. Guys, if you don't know swimming intimately, you need to understand how ridiculous this is. 26.2. Remember, he's not diving in. He's going from a push. Okay, my best time in the 50 freestyle is like a 25. Off of a dive, and I didn't do anything for the 15 minutes before that. This guy was holding 29 seconds per 50. And then he puts together a 26.2. That is wild. Look at the other athletes. I mean, that is still fast. 28.7. I mean, these are still very impressive. Whoa, who came in with a 26.1? Wait a second. Wait a second, buddy. Where was the speed before that? I mean, he made a push. He was gunning for it. Full adrenaline to try and get that. But it was too little too late. I mean, he's not going to split like a 24. He needed a 24 to be able to make that happen. That is wild. I didn't notice that. Holy cow. Any other ridiculous splits? A couple more. Guys, what are you doing? This Tunisian swimmer, 26.7, 26.9. All of these guys were capable. All of these guys were capable of doing it, but they waited too little too late. Oh, man. That's tough to see it. Tough to see it. All right, let's keep things moving. Put some comments here on the board. Actually, let's hold back. Let's, where are we at? Here we go. Okay, let's go ahead and pull some more comments about this event. What a battle. Yeah, 4 through 6 was insanely close. That is insane. This is a big comment. We're going to come to this at the very end. That's a big comment. Okay, let's keep things moving. All right, next event. This was one of the most impressive swims of these entire Olympics. It's the men's 4x1 medley relay. Now, the reason why this is so significant is because you got this United States team right here. The United States team has never lost this event at the Olympics. Let me repeat that. The United States has literally never lost this event at the Olympics. And maybe it's the last 60 years, maybe it's all time, whatever. And anyone who's watching this, in the time that you've been alive, the U.S. has never lost this race. Can you imagine the pressure? And they're not the favorites to win it. You know who the favorite to win this thing is? It's China. But we can't forget about France because they have Leon Marchand doing breaststroke. They have Maxime Grousset on the fly. And they have Florent Manodou on the freestyle. Team GB is going to be in there as well. This is going to be a... Oh, how about Australia? They've got a couple top guys in there. The Netherlands? I mean, wow. The field is stacked. And right away on the backstroke, this is Ryan Murphy for the United States. He's leading things off. We saw the same thing between the U.S. and China in the mixed medley relay. The same two athletes were leading things off for their respective teams. And you look at the next field, look at this. Ryan Murphy doing a great job for Team USA. China's right there with it. We're at 48.7 seconds. They need to come into the wall to give their teammates a chance to be able to hold it together because we have Qin Haiyang for China coming in the water next. And we have Bobby Fink for the U.S. And guess who France has? They have Leon Marchand coming in. Oh, and how about Team GB? We have Adam Peaty, who's the only man who's ever been 56. It's going to be wild. And heading into the halfway mark, this is the breaststroke leg. Qin Haiyang is really pulling ahead for Team China. He's a monster split. We'll look at the splits at the end. We got Adam Peaty, and Bobby Fink is just trying to hang in there because we have Leon Marchand who's out splitting him. It is wild to have four teams all battling in the same position. And now heading into the butterfly, we have Caleb Dressel, Maxime Grousset. Caleb Dressel was the gold medalist at the last Olympics in the 100 fly. He didn't even qualify out of the semifinal, and he throws down the fastest relay split in history in this event to hold it together for Team USA. We have Grousset, and then this Chinese swimmer, I don't know what is happening right now. These times are just so fast, and we were talking about the pool being slow. No, the pool is not slow apparently because these guys are dropping the hammer, and they are stepping in pure adrenaline. Look at this this shot says everything about what this race was, okay? The shot clock is at 3:17, which means we are about 10 seconds away from the conclusion of the event. If you didn't know anything about swimming, you look at this, you could say any of these countries could win it. The French could win it, the Americans could win it, the Chinese could win it. Apparently the United States is winning this thing right now, but not if these other swimmers have something to say about it. And we got Flo, who is this? No, this is Flo Manodou. This is Pan. Pan broke the world record, so we know he's going to be fast in the 100 freestyle. And into the wall, Pan is showing us why he is the fastest swimmer in the world right now. This is Pan, and he dropped the fastest relay split of all time across any stroke, any gender. It is absolutely ridiculous. He's the first man to go a 45. We'll pull the full splits on the board next. And then the French Manodou falls behind, still splitting a monster 47. But when the guy next to you is going a 45, 47 apparently isn't that fast anymore. And when we look at this, Team China is celebrating because they just threw down monster splits against star-studded fields from the United States, from Australia, from France. Everybody, they are having a good time. They are celebrating. They are a happy camping team. The Chinese really showing the world how to happen. Here's a slow motion shot of the takeoff. You can see this is Pan right there. He's diving in behind the other two swimmers. He's going to have a deficit. This right here is Caleb Dressel. This is Caleb Dressel. He's giving the United States every chance that they can. It looks like Florent Manodou right there. This right here is Flo Manodou coming in to anchor the relay for France. And it is just, it's like a nail biter. If I were the coaches for Team USA, Team China, Team France, I mean, it's up to the athletes at this point. I mean, these are the best relay teams assembled. You really can't do anything more than just spectate Olympic greatness. And I'm so happy that I was able to watch this. I'm so happy that I'm able to share with you guys all of the madness that happened in this specific event, because into the finish, you see Pan right there, and it was good enough for a gold medal. Not quite a world record, but it was good enough, and I love the sportsmanship. This right here, this is Leon Marchand. This is Nick Fink. And we can see this is the French team. This is Manodou. They're hugging the Chinese swimmers. This is all good sportsmanship, right? Everyone who is in the lane, you race them and you compete and you show respect. And I love seeing it. All the team members are congratulating each other for their performances at these Olympics. And look at how close that was. Wow. Team GB and Canada knocked off the medal podium. There were so many fast splits that we need to talk about in this event. Okay, to kick things off, we got the People's Republic of China winning this thing with monster splits. Look at Penn. This is the fastest relay split of all time by a long shot. Before this, it was 46.06 by Jason Lezak in 2008 with Michael Phelps to anchor the 4x1 free relay. But how about this? 45.9. How do you go 45? Well, you go out into 21.5, of course. And when you look at the reaction time of 0.2, it matches up with his 46.4. So to think that, oh, he's never going to go 46.4, the conditions were perfect, blah, blah, blah. No, the dude put together the fastest relay split of all time. Clean relay start. He's never tested positive. Get your heads out of the gutter if you guys are talking smack for no reason. His other teammates, you can say other things. However, Pan with a 45.9, he solidifies himself as the real deal in men's sprinting. But there were some other incredible splits that we can't, not talk about. How about Caleb Dressel for the United States of America with a 49.4? That is the fastest butterfly swim of all time. If you remember, he has the world record in the 100 butterfly. How unfortunate he wasn't able to defend his Olympic gold medal because he didn't qualify for the 100 fly in the semifinal. The winning time there was a 49.9 by Christoph Milak. And when you see him dropping a 49.4 with a 0.19 reaction time, it makes you wonder, what was he able to go if he had a clean race, although he didn't qualify, so we'll never see that happen. And now we look at France. We got Leon Marchand with a 58.6. How about Maxime Grousset with a 49.5? Are you kidding me? He went 49.5, and he took it out to 22.3. I mean, look at Caleb Dressel. Caleb Dressel went out in a 22.8. This right here is probably the fastest first 50 split in butterfly in history. I mean, it must be. I don't see how anyone could have gone out faster than a 22.3 because Team France wanted it. I'm getting goosebumps just looking at this split. Yeah, Caleb Dressel's an animal, but Maxime, I mean, that just shows how much he's stepped up for his team to make this thing happen. And then we got Manadou, and technically you could say, okay, Manadou lost it because look at this relay split up here. This was a 45.2 up here for Wang. At the end of the day, he still won a 47.5, and that's all the man can put together, and it was just enough to get them on the podium. But the relay splits don't stop there, because how about Adam Peaty with a 58.1? Or how about Matthew Richards with a 47.3? Let's keep going. We got Josh Liendo for Canada with a 47.3. And then, how about Kyle Chalmers with a 47.4? How about that 50-point butterfly split? How about, I mean, these times were insane across the board, and it was so amazing to see it done and to see Team France get one of their own on the podium and knocked off Team GB. But that was absolutely wild, some splits that we saw right here. And wow, he dropped it at the very end. Poor Dressel, but good for him. I mean, I don't know if we say poor Dressel, but respect to these other athletes because Dressel did split that 49.4 fastest in history. 45.92 will be the world record in the future for him. I mean, it's certainly plausible. I don't know if we're going to see a 45, but I would love to see a 46 low. I mean, now that I think about it, yeah, if he went 46.4 as a 19-year-old, he's about to be 20 years old. Yeah, give him 4 years, drop 4/10. He only has to drop 0.1 per year. It's probably not going to be linear like that, but it's certainly plausible. Yeah, that right there is ridiculous, guys. Pan took out his split in a 21.5. Now, he did have a relay start, but he still did it to his feet. So just think about that for a second. Obviously, if the guy swam the 50 freestyle, he would obviously go a 21-something, 21 low most likely. You know, the time to win the event was a 21.25, but that was pretty, yeah, imagine if France won. If France beat China and the Americans, dude, the place, they'd be flipping cars. French don't do that, but they would be celebrating like no other. And I'm very happy. Yeah, I was happy to see Manadou put together a 47 mid. His team needed it. I mean, he completely fell off the bandwagon. Actually, let's take a look at the splits for Manadou. How did he split that second? How did he take it out? Oh, he went out in a 22.0. What a beast. Manadou going out in a 22.0, and then he died. But hey, he went for it, man. What else are you going to say? He absolutely went for it. Yeah, Popovich is going to be right there in the 100. Wait a second. It's Pan's birthday today? Oh, wow, look at that. We got to give him like a little birthday cake. Yeah, that's my birthday cake. Look at all the candles. Happy birthday to you. That is insane. All right, let's keep things moving because we got one more event. Next event, the women's 4x1 medley relay, and it was just as exhilarating as the men's in different fashion because we saw a world record from the United States of America. Now, by split time, if you put together the fastest splits for all of these 4 athletes, you knew the United States was going to be dangerous, and it was up to China, Australia, and Canada to hang with them. Of course, we've got Hoistrom in there for Sweden, but they didn't have the firepower. Excuse me. They didn't have the firepower to hang in there. Now let's take a look at the early signs of the race. This is the backstroke, and Reagan Smith for the United States looked fabulous on the leadoff. This looked very similar to what we saw in the women's 100 backstroke. This time, Reagan Smith for the United States did touch in front, and now we're on the breaststroke. This is Lily King. The world record line is starting to show up. That's what that yellow line is for. And now, I got to take myself off the screen. This right here is Gretchen Walsh. And in the butterfly leg, she put together the fastest relay split in history. And they are now under the world record pace. And they're leaving everyone behind in the dust. This is Team USA showing the world, showing all women swimmers around the world that if you want to put together the 4 fastest legs, backstroke, breaststroke, butterfly, freestyle, it is right here in the pool, and we're showing you how to do it in Paris at the Olympic Games. And as we head into the final leg, this is Tori Husk. We saw her take second in the 100 freestyle, and she anchored the mixed 4x1 medley relay where the United States won gold and broke the world record. And yeah, we're ahead of the world record line at this point. It's a battle for second through third because how unfortunate these Olympic Games, not unfortunate, but only 3 teams take home a medal. And if you look at these results, there's only going to be 2 of these 3 teams are going to walk away with a medal. It looks like clearly this is going to be first place, and then second through fourth will be determined, and one of those teams will not win a medal into the finish. The United States is going to hang on, and they're going to break the world record and win the gold medal, and it's still a battle for second, third, and fourth. No one wants to be fourth at the Olympic Games. That is potentially the worst thing that can happen to you, getting fourth place at the Olympics because you're just off the podium. But it is the Americans. This is Reagan Smith right there. This is Lily King, the breaststroke. And this is Gretchen Walsh, the butterfly. And of course, Tori Husk is still in the pool, finishing and getting out of the water. This was our backstroke leg, and this was our breaststroke, and this was our fly. These 3, we saw them in individual appearances in the hundreds of stroke, and they were victorious. And here are the results. This is a new world record for the United States of America, and they needed that to win on the medal count of gold medals. Remember, Australia and the U.S. were battling as to who would take home the most gold medals at these Olympics. I had the graphic on the screen, and I'm going to pull it on one more time for you guys, and you can see why this matters. You can see the United States now taking home the glory, winning 8 gold medals at these Olympics in total. The swimming is over. There's, of course, all the other aquatic sports and all the other stuff going on in the next week or so. But when you see the United States of America on the top of the podium for total medal count, 28 medals. Australia, how about this? Australia only has 26 million people. The United States has 340 million people. So to win 18 medals out of such a small country relatively, they place a lot of importance on swimming, but we love to see that competitiveness. And I hope the smack talk continues between the Australians and the Americans. Of course, be respectful in the comments and, of course, in the live chat. I'm keeping an eye on the live chat. You guys are getting rowdy over here. But, yeah, take a look at that. The ladies were clutch overtake Australia in the medal count. Andrea, you know what's up. You know what's up right here. Ladies deserve that medal. Team USA represent. Husk said, I got this. Tori Husk, how about the Olympics she's having? She got 4th in the 100 butterfly at the last Olympics, and then she won this Olympics. I just talked about how bad it is to be, not bad, but it's probably the worst position to be in 4th place at the Olympics because you don't get a medal. You're not on the podium. You can say you went to the Olympics and you're an Olympian, but you were so close to getting an Olympic medal. And there's a big difference between being a gold medalist and not making a medal, but to be on the podium versus not be on the podium, that is pretty tough. And yeah, it's such a massive lead. I mean, yeah, Tori Husk probably on the United States of America side, she is definitely one of the MVPs. Remarkable splits. We have the 10K open water race and diving, and we have artistic swimming and water polo. So keep an eye out. Keep an eye out for that. We're going to see some monster swims over there. But yeah, how about that? Now let's look at the splits real quick. How about this? Reagan Smith breaks the Olympic record leading off the backstroke. Lily King, 104. That's amazing. And then how about this? This is the fastest butterfly split in history. That's Gretchen Walsh. And this is Tori Husk right there. We got some other really fast swims. How about a 51.8? That's Molly O'Callaghan from Australia. She was doing everything possible to get in front. And look at how close this race was. This is Australia, and this is China. I mean, look at how close it was. Wow. Both of these ladies put together a monster split. But it was Molly O'Callaghan. I mean, that is nuts. How about this 55.7 split for Maggie McNeil? Oh, you can't see on the screen. There you go. 55 butterfly split. Wow. That is insane. What an incredible Olympic Games. How about that 400 freestyle relay? We love to see it. It was absolutely spectacular. And I'm going to go ahead and throw the medal count on here. It has been so lovely enjoying this week with you guys, doing these daily broadcasts. I really appreciate the support. Hopefully you guys can go back, rewind to the beginning if you just joined, watch the other live streams that we've had, and really celebrate swimming, because this is our moment to shine. Don't let it fall away. Make sure you're subscribed. We have some incredible content coming up for you guys here on the channel and with My Swim Pro. So much to be excited for in the sport of swimming, and it's been a lovely evening. This was the last dance, and I can't wait to see you guys at the next one. Until then, I'll leave you with this and have
You want to beat your rival. These splits were unbelievable.